Good morning, good morning. Welcome to our next segment of live, you know, educational fun to make, music videos or videos in general. It's a great Monday morning. Of course, it's November 14th. And I just want to share some words of encouragement, words of wisdom with every single person. You see, first of all, in order for you to be, established and generally healthy, I encourage you to drink some onion water. Now, onion water, what it does is it helps, kill the poison inside your system. It helps to boost your energy. It increases your strength. And of course, it's beneficial for your immune system because we all know it's snowing outside if you live in Canada. And that means we're in the coming of the winter season. We're still in fall, but soon next month we'll be in winter, but it snows before then. However, today's morning message is the Lord's kingdom, right? The Lord's established on his throne in heaven, and his kingdom rules above all. And so that is very significant, very important, simply because God created the words, created the life, created every single thing that we have. All the knowledge that has been around for generations ever since time, God created that. And a lot of times, people seem to forget. You see, Jesus Christ talked to the Pharisees and he said to them, "You knowledgeable people, you people have, you know, gone through all the trials and tribulations of learning the knowledge and wisdom. However, you choose not to use this knowledge and wisdom, you know, in a proper way, meaning that you know the wisdom above all of the people. However, you are misleading them by deceiving them, by using it in a manipulation manner. What that means is you know the rights and the wrongs of the knowledge. However, you know the people are not that advanced in knowing the rights and wrong of the knowledge, so you use it to gain benefits, to gain rituals, false rituals, things that shouldn't be established, you use it to gain that. So what that means is you know what you're doing, but you choose not to. You see, how does that relate back to us today? A lot of times we have relationships in different variations. We could have work relationships, we could have spouse relationships, we have relationships all around. And in those relationships, what we must understand is we learn from them. So that means we learn one aspect and the other. So what you like, what you don't like, what you can gain, what you don't gain from. Sometimes there's distractions all around, right? All of these things are all part of life. And sometimes these distractions also help you to evolve simply because you know what to do and what not to do. Distractions are meant to set you back. However, if you utilize those distractions, they can intensify your movement to evolve and grow. So, you see, God's kingdom is above all kingdoms. God's knowledge is above all knowledge. God's wisdom is above all wisdom. People may think that they have, knowledge and wisdom because they and their cultures have established this knowledge for hundreds of thousands of years. However, due to the fact that God, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, Yahweh, Jehovah, have created this knowledge, He in fact has shown it in many various ways. However, a lot of people do know that He is the creator of all, but they choose not to worship Him. They choose to do other things. They choose to manipulate the system simply because it comforts their way of life. It comforts their improvement of life. And so their whole life becomes a sort of a game, systematic game planning, mocking, deceiving, thinking that they, in fact, have more knowledge and wisdom enough to deceive even God Himself. Imagine God created you and He knows every single thing about you. However, you think that because you can walk and talk, you are able to know more than God. You see, I am yet to understand those that do not have the knowledge and the wisdom to be able to live forever. However, they know God possesses all of those knowledge. Now, like I said, in the realm of the spirits, there is no democracy like how we see it physically. It is absolute power and absolute power only. That's why it says God has established His throne in heaven, and His kingdom rules above all. He didn't say God and His sidekick, God and somebody else. It's only God and God alone. Though you see Him in phases of three, He is one in three, and three in one, just like how He created us, three in one. For even Himself lived in all His creations. So, it is up to you that you know what the right thing is. Remember, God's not going to ask you about how financially suitable you are, because you're not going to pay your way into heaven. Because if that was the case, then we would be living a different type of life. You understand? You see, the things about us and other creations is everybody has their limitation of how they're going to get into heaven. You see, an animal is not going to be discarded out of heaven simply because of their nature, even though they're aggressive, even if they attacked humans or they killed humans, even if they did all those things, because animals have a certain instinct that they basically, if they're not trained to do so, right? They're basically reacting on life instincts, and that is a different category, meaning they're protecting themselves before they attack, and protection are much different than attacks. So, but humans, if you are a stable mind, that means stable mind sometimes could be stable mind to God, but not stable mind to the people. But I am talking about the real stable mind, the one that is stable to God, because God knows you in and out more than anybody. His evaluation is much higher than anybody else. And that is why He is saying to you, your elevation comes from what? What is within. What is within is coming from me, so I know it much better than anything else. And it is what you choose to do and what you decide to do and when to do it. Utilize the ability to change others through your passion and through your motivation. A lot of times you might not be able to give physically, But can you give spiritually to others? Can you give spiritually to the community that you live in? Because every powerful man on this planet knows about the spiritual world. They know that spirituality do exist, and that is absolute power, and that none of them, right, would ever join certain organizations if life was just simple like that. Think about it. You see, a lot of people say Kanye West sacrificed his mother. And he said he sacrificed his mother. He said Jordan sacrificed his dad, Bill Cosby sacrificed his son, and so forth, Beyonce and those other celebrities. There's a price to pay for everything. And I told you there's two avenues. Either you can worship Jesus Christ, where that avenue is basically understanding that the faithful God has sacrificed for you. Notice it's all a sacrifice. Or not. Do not be bothered by what others say, because the Holy Spirit is a different guide within you than others. They do not know to the extent of the relationship that you have between you and the Holy Spirit and the guidance. Only your GPS and your concept of play and the Holy Spirit will understand these things, simply because everybody else has a different kind of circumstance in life. If others point fingers, if others say, well, this is what you're doing, then that is a direction that is given to you physically. It is not a spiritual direction. Spirituality can always be manipulated, but that is not the real knowledge of power and thoughts and love. King of Kings, Lord of Lords wants to develop a relationship because he wants you to understand his ways. His ways are above all, simply because he is what? Superior to all. And he knows that the superiority of his powers are all inside of you. Or else he wouldn't focus on developing a relationship, because he wants you to grow. He wants you to charge. He wants you to elevate and evolve and grow. In order for you or anybody to do that, you cannot focus on what others are physically telling you. Times will change. The truth is the truth. Follow the truth, because that is the map of life. You can make mistakes, and you do make mistakes every single day. But that doesn't mean God doesn't rectify those mistakes and turn those mistakes into good, evolving truth. Meaning that he can take what you're doing wrong, that others may think you're doing it wrong, and change it to what? Teach others, because we're here to learn and teach. It don't matter what level you're on. Understand that there's other levels that are higher. But if it's not the right level and it's not coming from the right direction, right, which is Yahweh, then you have mistaken, because materialistic things do not get you to heaven. Everybody wants to go to heaven. The spirit that lives inside of you is what? Coming from where? Exactly. You borrowed it. So it don't matter if there's clones. It don't matter if there's changes in the world and people can learn to live forever. But what is forever? You see what I'm saying? What is forever? You think the solution is other planets? Or do you think that the solution is heaven? Because our flesh will grow. If we change into different sleeves, still, our spirit does not belong to us. So we can't truly do what we want with it, because one has peace and the other has punishment. Two of them, the two P's, either one direction or the other direction. Both of them have a way of angle. You see, guidance is the ability to clear your mind at a state in time so that you can fully understand the Holy Spirit that is within you. The Holy Spirit is who is the power of God that speaks to you. The Holy Spirit. See what I'm saying? Jesus left, brought the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is who's speaking to all these people. And every message is different, but every message connects because it's eternal. But you don't feed your soul. Every day you're watching what others are doing. Every day you're complaining about others. Every day you're saying, oh, this is thing. You're not going to like everybody, but your prayers cannot be selfish to yourself. You understand? The things you do cannot be just for yourself. See what I'm saying? I created a EP music. It's called Independent Loyalty. Independent loyalty is basically you must be independent, right? If you feel independent, loyalty is key in what you do. You see what I'm saying? Loyalty in this world